What is up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Coach Magali. If this is your first time here, welcome. And on this channel, I break down fitness and nutrition concepts into basic ideas that you can follow to help you achieve your health, fitness, nutritional, gym goals, all of that good stuff. If you like the no BS approach, the simple approach, then this channel is for you. Please do subscribe down below for more videos like this. Let me know by liking the video that you enjoy content like this. And let's get into 5 hard truths that you need to accept when it comes to losing weight and losing body fat. So the first hard truth that you need to accept is that hunger is normal. And not every time you feel hungry, you need to eat. When you're in a dieting phase and you're losing body fat, you're essentially in a mode of starvation. That is what is required to lose body fat, is there to be a deficiency of calories. So our bodies, when there's a deficiency in calories, is like, what are you doing? What's going on? There's famine, oh my gosh. And it will do everything in its power to keep you satiated, hungry, full, etc. So your hormone hungers rise, and this is your body's way of trying to protect you. But it doesn't know that you're intentionally trying to lose body fat and there's plenty of food around and we're not starving. But your body doesn't know the difference. So you need to expect a level of hunger, meaning you might finish your calories and you might still feel like you need to eat a little bit more. Now, I want to make it very clear. I'm not saying starve yourself and deprive yourself and don't give yourself food when you really need it, because there isn't a time and a place when you are genuinely starving, shaking, about to pass out. Give yourself some food. However, if you are eating the right amount of protein, the right amount of vegetables, the right amount of fiber, and you're maximizing your calories towards the foods that give you more bang for your buck, then it's very unlikely, assuming you're eating the right amount of calories for you, it's very unlikely that you're going to be starving that way every single day or even often. But again, that little twinge of hunger, like, oh, my stomach's growling a little bit, but I could really use an extra slice of bread. That kind of hunger is normal, and it doesn't mean that you have to listen every time. Is that uncomfortable? Yes. We automatically are programmed to believe if we're hungry, it's a problem. Eat, right? Like, that's just our biology. That's what our bodies want us to do. But when you're trying to lose weight, that's your body's natural response to dieting. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to eat. Again, assuming that you're eating the right amount of calories and the right quantities and quality of food. That's the number one thing. Because if you're eating shit and you're starving, you're actually nutrient deprived. You're going to need to eat more, and now that puts you over your calories. But if you were properly fed, then it wouldn't be such a big issue. This is also ensuring that you're eating as many calories as you possibly can while still losing weight. Our mentality when approaching fat loss is just to starve ourselves and eat as little as possible so that we get the fastest results, but that typically comes with consequences. There's a downside to that, and a lot of hunger is usually a downside to that. So a way to minimize it is to increase your calories, slow down the weight loss a little bit, but still be losing weight and experience a little bit less hunger. But again, not have that ravenous hunger that unfortunately a lot of people get when they starve, when they cut their calories too low. So maximize your calories as much as you can while still losing body fat. Finding that number for you is obviously impossible for me to recommend because everybody's different. Everybody has a different range. Everybody has different body weights, goals, heights, all kinds of stuff. So it's not something that I can tell you how to do here. But just know that you have to figure out that number for yourself. Expect hunger to be part of the process. It does not mean that you're not doing it right. It does not mean that you need to eat, assuming everything is in order and everything is in place as it should be. Hunger is part of losing weight. You gotta deal with it. Next uncomfortable truth. No one owes you anything. What I mean by that is you don't get to force your family, your friends, your community, your kids, anybody to just support you in everything you do, make your life easier, only buy healthy food, encourage you to go to the gym with you. Ideally, in a fantasy world, it would be incredible if our entire family, our entire friends joined us in this journey. But that's not reality. Most people aren't going to join in on you, especially in the beginning when you just start. They're not going to change their lives. They're not going to change their habits to make it easier on you. And you should stop expecting them to. I made this mistake when I first started. I thought that everybody needed to watch me and see how I was improving and therefore change themselves. And I was hopefully inspiring them. And yes, you do. Once you start seeing results and you start to physically change, people will start asking you, like, how did you do it? I want to join in. But at the same time, you cannot force that belief, that change in behavior just by simply forcing them to from the beginning, or expecting them to change their entire life to make it easier on you. Especially if you live with these people, you can't expect them to just start buying healthy food. You can't expect them not to bring junk food to the house. You can't expect them and force them to do these things that will make your life easier. Ultimately, you're the one who chose this path. Good for you. I'm proud of you. But you chose it. You are the one that has to put in the work. You are the one that has to set yourself up for success by having the foods that you need around you. You need to be focused on what your goals are and what you need to do, and stop expecting everyone else around you to change themselves to make that easier for you. Now again, hopefully you inspire people around you. It would be incredible if everybody got healthier and everybody around you got healthier. That's awesome. That's the ultimate goal. But we can't expect that from the beginning, and we can't expect people to change their whole lives for us. You don't owe them going out to drink every weekend. You don't owe them going out to eat at night every night. You don't owe them anything. So the other way is true as well. Focus on what you need to do, set up the boundaries, set the conversations, make it clear what you're working on, and again, be okay that people are just not going to join you. They're not going to 100% support you and back you up. Unfortunately, that's just a reality. Your best bet is to, again, have a rock solid plan. You know exactly what it is that you need to do, and then having people around you that do support you and do encourage you, either by friends at the gym or other people that you know that are going through a similar journey. People online, there's thousands of people creating fitness accounts every single day that are also working on their fitness. Look up #weight-loss-journey. Like, you're going to find so many people in the same boat as you, and you can build a community that way. There's accountability groups, there's personal trainers. So many options. So build up those people around you instead of trying to force the people who are not interested around you, or trying to make them change with you when you start this journey. It's ultimately your responsibility. It's up to you. You do what you gotta do. And if people still are being assholes and not supportive and making your life impossible, well, then that opens up another conversation on whether these people should be in your life or not. But that's not what this video is about. I'm gonna let you ponder on that question. But again, nobody owes you anything, and you should stop trying to force everybody around you to be healthy with you. Wasted energy, not your job. Let them watch you grow and blossom, and they'll want to join you naturally. But don't try to force it in the beginning. It never goes well. Next uncomfortable truth about losing weight. 99% of the time, if you're not seeing the results that you want to see, it's for one of two reasons. You're not being consistent, or as consistent as you think you are, and you're not being patient. Those two are the main reason why every fitness plan fails. Every nutrition plan, any type of health plan doesn't work. So many people get frustrated and discouraged and impatient. They think, oh, it's been 2-3 weeks. Why am I not seeing the changes that I want to be seeing? And so they think the problem is the fitness program, or the meal plan, or the calories are this, or this is wrong. It's never you. It's never you're the issue. You're not being consistent. You're not being patient enough. We're always looking for external things to blame. Now, are there influences to things like that? Absolutely. Could you be eating higher calories than you think you are because you got the wrong number? Yes. But at the end of the day, if you're consistent and you're constantly showing up and you're patient enough to figure this out, eventually you're going to find out the right way to do it for you, and the right calories, and the right foods, and the right nutrition plan, and the right fitness plan. There's so many ways to approach weight loss. There's so many ways to approach fitness. Like, none of these methods or plans are superior. They're just different. So it's not about finding the perfect plan or finding a secret or a magic trick. It's just staying consistent and patient long enough to have the magic appear, to see the results come from it. But unfortunately, that just isn't the case with most people. Most people's programs fail, and their goals don't become reality, because they think it's going to take less time, they think it's going to be faster, they get discouraged when it doesn't happen right away, and they give up, or they become inconsistent. You take your foot off the gas, the car is going to slow down. Your results are going to slow down. That's just the nature of the game. So next time you want to give up a program, or you think it's not working, take a brutally honest look at yourself and ask, have I truly put all of my effort and done everything that I should have been doing for at least, here's the kicker, at least 3 to 6 months? If you can't answer that question in its entirety with yeses, then you're not being patient enough, and you're not being consistent. And no matter what program you choose, no matter what method you do, no matter what route you take, you will never achieve anything, because you are not willing or able to stay the course long enough to see anything happen. Your body changes with time. It is not an overnight success. It is not an overnight thing. Just like you getting out of shape and gaining a bunch of weight and losing your health wasn't an overnight thing. It took time. A lot of habits over time, bad habits that built up to this reality. The same thing goes in the other way. A lot of small habits and good behaviors are going to result in a good result, but that takes time. Be consistent, at least 3 to 6 months, be patient enough to wait that long to see it happen. Combine those two. If you have a little bit more of those two, it's incredible what can happen. But ultimately, the person to blame for our program not working is usually the person looking back at us in the mirror. The hard truth. Next uncomfortable truth, you will never, ever, ever be 100% happy with your body and 100% love yourself. That's a lie. It's a fantasy world idea. Doesn't exist. If they're telling you it does and they really believe that about themselves, they're lying to you. And I would argue if somebody doesn't have any critique of themselves, any self-doubt, a little delusional. Understand that even as you improve, even as you're getting results, even as you accomplish all of these things, you're not ever going to be fully satisfied with yourself, and be okay with that. That's a good thing. That keeps us striving for more, that keeps us hungry, that keeps us pushing towards a better reality. You can look at it in a negative way, like, oh, the goal's always moving, I'm never going to be happier. Oh my god, the goal's always moving, I'll never be satisfied, there's always more to accomplish. And that's a much better mindset to have. But just know that you're never going to achieve that, and people who tell you that are lying, they're full of shit. And if you're constantly chasing that idea, like, oh, if I just do this, I'll finally love myself 100%, or if I achieve the glutes that I want, I'll finally be happy, or if I do this, I'll finally be at peace. Like, it's not the reality. Now, of course, I'm not saying if you go from no goals to achieving everything you want, like, you're not going to feel confident. Of course you are. It's going to change your life. You're going to be such a better person. You're going to be incredibly happier, healthier, energetic, all of the things. And you should pursue that, and 100% should go that route. But just know that it's not going to cure all your self-doubts and all of your confidence issues, because when you achieve these goals, you're going to find something new to critique about yourself. You're going to find something else that you want to work on that you don't like about yourself. I still have those moments every single day. Part of it. It's part of being a human and being imperfect and having emotions, right? It's just who we are. So know that you're never going to get to that place. That is a good thing, but also don't place all of the weight on your happiness and your self-love on physical results, because when you get there and you don't feel 100% happy, because you won't, you're going to feel disappointed and discouraged. And the reality is, it's not something to be discouraged about. Just keep the ball rolling, focus on different goals at that point, and just always keep it within a healthy mindset. Like, don't discredit everything you've accomplished and everything that got you to where you are now just because you're not happy with the way you look. Like, you've put in work, you've put in progress, you've put in sweat and tears into this, and you should be proud of that. And so don't let yourself get caught in only the negative and only what you're lacking and only what you're not happy with. It's a fine line between being critical about yourself in a healthy way and then being super damaging to yourself. Like, it's a fine line, but you have to figure that out for yourself. A little bit of self-doubt and a little bit of unworthiness is good. It's good. I'm going to say it's good. It's just you got to keep it in check and use it for a productive reason, not just to beat yourself to the ground and bully yourself into oblivion. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You're never going to love yourself 100%, and that's not something that you should be concerned about. It's a good thing. Last uncomfortable truth is there is no such thing as toning your body. This is a term that a lot of my clients and people I've talked to use to describe what they want. And they usually say, I want to look toned, I want to tone my arms, I want to tone my legs, I want to tone my glutes. I understand what they're saying, but it's important that you understand that that isn't what really happens. If you don't know how a process truly works, how can you work towards it and achieve it, right? Like, toning isn't a thing, so how are you going to tone your body if that isn't a thing? I think it's important to really clarify exactly what is happening and how to achieve that look. Toning has been explained as somebody who has a lot less body fat, who appears lean and thin, but also muscular and strong. And this is going to look different for everybody because everybody has a different preference on what they perceive to be toned and what they want to look like. It's typically somebody who's leaner, a little bit more muscular, has definition, has muscle in all the right areas, and has less size in all the bad areas, essentially. And then there's exercises that specifically tone your glutes, tone your legs, tone your back. And there's two things that happen here, you guys. You can build muscle or you can lose fat. Building muscle comes from building muscle. It comes from training hard in the gym. It comes from lifting weights. It comes from strategically planning your workouts and getting progress every week and progressing in everything that you do and getting stronger. Losing fat comes from controlling your food intake enough so that you start losing body fat, putting yourself in a starvation phase. The two have nothing to do with each other directly. What you do in the gym is going to build the muscle, and the amount of calories that you eat dictate if we're going to shed the body fat layer on top of the muscle to reveal it, or if the body fat's going to stay there covering the muscles. So a toned look is just somebody who has built a lot of muscle in the gym and then lost the body fat that is covering their muscles. There is no toning exercises. There is no toning anything. You build the muscle as you build any other muscle. Even if somebody was bulking and trying to get huge, you do the same exercises. The difference is the food portion that dictates how much body fat is covering that muscle. So somebody who's lean and defined and is showing muscle has a low body fat percentage, so they're controlling their nutrition in some way to stay leaner, to reveal and keep showing the muscles that they built over time. But it's not that you can tone a muscle. That's not a thing. You can build a muscle by training it and then reveal it by controlling your diet. That's the only way toning works. This has become problematic for people because they truly believe that you can train body fat off. You can't. You can train muscles, and the diet portion, again, reveals those muscles when your body fat decreases. Hopefully that clears up that toning isn't a thing and it makes it something that you can understand. So train really hard, train as you normally would if you're trying to gain or lose weight, it doesn't matter. You train your muscles that you want to build and you want to tone, and then you shed the body fat off by controlling your diet and your calories. So that's all that I have for you today. That concludes today's video. I know some of these are kind of annoying to hear and uncomfortable, but the reality is, you guys, like, I'm telling you how it is. I've done it myself. I've coached clients through it. Weight loss and changing your life is hard. And no matter how you go about it, how many tools and tips and tricks you accumulate in your research or life experience, it's still going to be a hard process because it requires you to change. If you change nothing, you would get the same result, right? Like you would continue to live the life that you're living, but because you want to change that, you have to do different things, and that always comes with resistance, and it always comes with difficulties. But anything worth having isn't easy. It's a cliche ass saying, but it's the truth. When you work for something hard and it doesn't come easy, you value it more. And I think that's why health is so important, because it teaches us that we're worth the effort, we're worth the work, and it's uncomfortable sometimes, and it's going to be annoying sometimes, but it's worth it in the end because the reward is amazing. Your health, your longevity, living longer, being able to run with your kids, be able to defend yourself, all of the above. Know that it's not easy. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. That's part of the process. You're not alone. Just stay the course. Remember, be consistent and patient, and there's no reason why you can't get there yourself. If you found this video helpful, please do like it for me. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, what you thought about the video. If you know somebody who would benefit from this video, please do share it with them and help me spread the word with this message. I would truly appreciate it if you feel like it could help them as well. Make sure you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.